Testing, testing, testing. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I will be talking to you guys very shortly, just sorting a couple of things out, and I'll be with you for the start of qualifying in about 2.5, 3 minutes time. We are currently waiting for 2 more drivers to turn up. That is obviously one of the Mercedes drivers. And in Carwin, who we are missing, and Quince. But we do have a couple of driver changes I'll tell you about now. We have Jay Wizzy taking a full-time seat here at Racing Point. We have Liam filling in as a reserve today for Lisa, who is missing. And let me not get this wrong. Yes, Hindle is filling in for Silly Sly Guy, who has the horrid COVID-19, so we wish him a speedy recovery and hope that he feels a lot better soon. But that is it at the moment. We should be getting underway fairly shortly indeed. No sign of centricity, but here we go then, lads. We are readying up and we are ready to go. Pretty much. But here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in. Ready for round 2 here at season 3 of CSGB Racing. Live from Russia this evening in Sochi, the Black Sea bordering city of Sochi, held host to the 2018 Olympics. It has beaches, it has sun, it has sea, but it also has snow from time to time. But tonight it's hosting our round 2 here, and an epic 50% race of 27 laps and then a 13 lap sprint race to follow. So 18 turns here at the Sochi Autodrome. A tricky sector 2. Lots of right angles for the guys to attack. But first of all, we have the qualifying session for you all. So let's hope the drivers can do their best out on track and see if we can get a repeat of last week's fantastic duel around Bahrain. But here we go then, it's looking dry in the sky. Let me get it set up for you guys and let's get qualifying underway. The two Haas drivers, Yolo and Liam, filling in reserve today. Are they both on the medium tyres? Yolo has taken the gamble, but his teammate Liam has opted to go onto the soft tyres. So it's the Haas out early here at Sochi. Turn 1 and 2, an easy place to invalidate around this track. The long turns of 3 into turn 4. And that is all of sector 1 pretty much, as they drive down to turn number 5 to begin sector 2. This is where the limits become a real issue for some of the drivers, so it's going to be difficult for them to keep it valid. But if you can hook it up, you can definitely gain a lot of time through these corners, and this is where it can be make or break. Coming up now to turn 10, and where the first DRS detection zone is. And down his back straight for DRS, where we can see a lot of overtakes on his long straight, which is actually turn 11, and the little kink at the end of it is turn 12, down to the very tricky turn 13 brake zone. Right here as we run aboard with Yolo, who takes us into it. And then the tricky section here, 14, 15 and 16, where you can easily slide across the track and drop the car. But here we go then, Yolo is going to set our first lap. He's coming to the end of his out lap, so we're right on board with the Haas driver as he takes us round on the medium tyres. It'll be interesting to see what pace he can do on them, and we'll get a good idea in about 1 minute 20 or so's time. 30. I'm not entirely sure what the best lap is around here, what a good lap is, so we'll stay on board. We'll wait to see what the boys do. And we've got a sector 3 yellow flag. That is just a congestion out of turn at number 17 and 18, where the drivers are trying to get the best run onto the main big long straight. You say straight, it's not really a straight, but it's very, very fast indeed. As we see Yolo now attacking the curves, obviously going purple as he is the first man out on track. Now coming up to turn number 6 and 7. Hooks it to keep it valid. Yes, he does just about use all the track there. Brilliant from him. 6th, 7th gear all the way down to 4th, so he's opting for a lot of gear changes here to get the cut in and the entry on those medium tyres. He's got to use all the grip available on those tyres to go and find any time at all in comparison to the soft runners. Just as a matter of fact, we'll see what tyres other people are driving on. So we've only got 3 people choosing to go on the medium tyres so far, so it looks like Yolo is going to be one of the only drivers trying this strategy. as he now comes up to turn number 15 and 16. Keeps it nice and straight through there and takes a little curb, just to correct himself slightly on the exit. And up to turn 17 now, straight right angle, but you can still take it at well over 100 mile an hour. This curb's difficult in real life, but he sets a 1:32. We'll go back onto the other Haas with Liam to see where he crosses the line. And of course he goes above 3 seconds, nearly ahead of him. As we have the Alfa Romeo of Oscar going into P2 with a 1:31.2. And we have a Ferrari coming around the final corner. Is this Noah Jones? No, it's not. It's Bowers. He's gone 31.1. And Jay Wizzy, last week's sprint race winner, is now in 5th, but his teammate has gone into 2nd place, and that's IMAX with a 1:30.5. The Red Bull Tribe has put himself into P7 with the slowest lap we have seen so far. Netsky rounds the final corner and goes pole. Did we expect anything else? A 1:29.7. I'm sure he's got more pace in him. As there is a McLaren right behind him. Is this Jay Prentice going for an early lap? Yes, it is. We'll stay on board with him and we'll check the timing board to see if anything else comes in as we haven't. I think that is Rain Man behind. So here is Jay Prentice, also opting for the medium tyres, so looking for a longer first stint than anyone else. We do have the yellow flags at the Haas going slowly. That may be trying to avoid traffic of cars behind him. So currently the fastest lap of the session is a 29.7 from Netsky. Currently it's at 2nd place after 2 second place finishes in the 2 races in round 1 around Bahrain. And the Swedish driver currently topping the charts, followed by Liam, who is currently a reserve. So that is a fine effort from him in the Haas. We'll stay on board with Mr. Jay Prentice and see if he can set the world alight on the medium tyres. Maybe looking for a top 10 quali, as we do see a Ferrari ahead of him who does pull out the way. No other lap times have been set as of yet, so Romsey, I'm sorry I missed that, has got into 4th with a 30.9. Stay on board through the tricky turns here. And here we go, then approaching the final 2 corners. There's a nice line through there. It looks to be a car smoking in the pit lane, but I think he's just doing wheel spin as Jay Prentice crosses the line with a 32.5 and Rain Man behind him on the soft tyres, I think. Yes, he goes into P4 with 30.9. Any other cars rounding the final few corners? That may be Eklund coming to start a lap. Yes, it is. So last week's race winner in the feature race, making a 2-stop work for him, is out of the lap now, so stay on board with him. Currently leading the top of the table is the Swedish man in the Alfa Romeo. Rain Man looking to get out of the way, and he does. As he sets a purple sector number 1, and he will want to continue that throughout the lap as much as he can. Tries to flick it across the curb and does brilliantly. Takes not a lot of outside curb, but keeps it pointing in a straight line, and that's all he'll care for at the moment on his first run of the session. Can he beat a 29.7 as he gets very close to a McLaren now? But as he bombs it down to turn to start sector 3, he sets purple sector 2, so it's looking very bright for last week's winner. Eklund now coming up to turn 15. It's got to be pick your brake zone and take it deep and hopefully get the switch back. And that he does. Good rate distribution there from Eklund. Nice and patient on the throttle. Comes now, chooses gear 3 into this turn and down to gear 2. And he puts it in 3rd position. So he must have lost a lot of time there in sector 3. Only good enough for 3rd position so far for Eklund. That's a 30.4. We have a Williams now coming to the line. That must have been Kazakhs who has just crossed the line, I imagine. Well, he has put himself in 10th position. That will invalidate, so that means he is not on the lap. Eklund is on the in lap. We have a lot of people on an out lap. We'll try and find the next closest person to the line. Maybe James Dovey. Yes, it is. So we'll stay on board with him and see if James can put himself anywhere up on the leaderboard, choosing for the soft tyres. We have seen a mixture so far in the session. A lot of drivers opting for gear 2 around here and then gear 3. My personal preference is to gear 3 into gear 4 just to keep the rear sort of stable. But here comes James in up the line. It's looking like a 1:30.6, and that's good enough for 5th position for him. So a nice lap there from James for his first lap of the session. We have a Ferrari coming round the final couple of corners. Here it is, Noah Jones, the Welshman, who crossed the line number 31.1, puts him just behind his teammate. And who was that crossing the line? Was that a... I'm not sure. Was that Netsky out for another lap? It was. Netsky is on the lap, so we'll stay with him and see what he can do around here. We have 2 cars yet to set a lap, and that is both Vapor Boys. And as I say that, Vapor Cobalt goes into 6th position, a 1:30.7 for him. So a decent lap from the American driver, pushing himself up the order early on in the session. Purple for Netsky. Improves on his own time, but that must be beating Eklund's Sector 2, as he held the 2 fastest purple sectors for Sector 1 and 2. As Netsky now comes around the fast turns left here and then into a quick right before the long straight. As he becomes 10 and into the kink of turn 11. Netsky looking to try and repeat his last season's. As Liam goes top of the leaderboards with a 1:29.6. Netsky goes purple in Sector 2, so he is looking to nick that away from him. Netsky does opt for gear 3 through here and ride it all the way through to the outside curb in gear 3. Trying to keep as much power going through those rear wheels as he can. Takes a lot of curb there, and coming up to the line, Netsky, I'm going to guess, takes pole here, and he does with a 29.2. Doesn't just takes it, he grabs it, steals it, and runs away with it. It's a 29.2 for the AlphaTauri driver, and AlphaTauri currently top of the Constructors' Championship after round 1. Looking even better here, as I believe, as Jay Wizzy just set a faster lap. I think he might have put himself in 6th position, so it's currently P3 and 4 for the Alfa Romeos and P5 and 6 for the Racing Points. And we have a comment of Netsky is unreal, and you wouldn't be lying, would you? Who come up to the line? Is this Oscar? He's into the pit lane. Who's come up behind him? We have, this must be Rain Man. Where is he? On an outlap. So we'll stay on board with him and see where he can push himself up the leaderboard and see if he can improve at all as he begins his lap now. Trying to improve like his AlphaTauri teammate, but he's got a bit of traffic in front of him, and the Renault gets out of the way nicely. The lone Renault on circuit today, and that is an invalidation that may have put him off ever so slightly. We have a race going on here. The Williams of Kazakhs now starting a new lap, so we'll stay on board with the Finnish driver to see if he can push himself up from 14th position. He definitely has the pace to do so, and I'm sure he will improve for us here today. Although saying that, he's 4 1,000ths down in Sector 1, but that's nothing too drastic. Still waiting for Mercedes to set a lap. Carwin Rob obviously can't as he joined late, so he will be starting from the back of the grid. Does Vapor Trench have a... I don't think he has a qualifying ban, so... As it goes purple Sector 2 for Kazakhs. In the Williams now, coming up to turn 15. Gear 3 and 4 through there, as opposed to the 2 and 3 combination. And here he comes then, coming around the final few corners. I'm sure it will be an improvement. It is up to 7th position and splits to 2 racing points. And now it's 7th position for the Williams driver. We have Hindle about to start a lap, I believe. So we'll stay on board with the Renault as someone's jumped up somewhere. I'm not sure who, probably the Red Bull. I am not entirely sure. Someone behind there. But we do have a Mercedes out on track, and that is who's put a lap in, Vapor Trench. So that's sorted that conundrum out. Vapor Trench put himself into 13th position. We are 31 dead, as Hindle setting purple sectors already in Sector 1. And that looks very deep and very wide, and it is, and it's a validation from Hindle, and he's going to be kicking himself with that. He needs to get back quickly if he wants to set another lap. We have a Haas driver coming up to the line now. So is that YOLO? Yes, it is. He's invalidated in his outlap. So nothing to concern ourselves about there. We have a Ferrari of Noah, who's on a flying lap a lot further back. So we'll jump on board with him a bit later. Bo is about to start a lap. The racing point of IMAGs is the closest person we've got coming to the line to finish a lap. So we'll stay on board with him and then quickly jump to James Dovey behind. Be interesting to see whether he is up or not. Here we come. James Dovey is pulled into the pit lane, as you can see behind. And this will be IMAX coming to the line, and it's a 25,000th improvement, 1/4 of a tenth, which is not good enough to put it past Romsey in 5th position, and the racing point of IMAX holds 6th for now. Anyone coming to the line, this may be Bowers after all. No, it's not. It's Noah who's in the pit lane. So we'll stay on board with Bowers. We'll give him screen time. And as soon as I do, he invalidates. So that's what you get if you ask the screen time, Mr. Bowers. But, you know, I'm joking. Of course, you'll get a bit more later on, but you've got 2 minutes to get in and out. But I don't think they're gonna particularly find much pace here, as Jake Prentice coming out the pits to rake his final run of the session. YOLO has gone deep. This is Roomsy coming to the line, but he is on an out lap. Have we got anyone on a flying lap at the moment? IMAGs is on his in lap. I know that for sure. Behind him is the Williams of Kazakhs. No, it's not. It's the Williams of Vapor Cobalt who is on the out lap. So I want to get to the start of the... Who is this? Is this... It may be Mr. Prentice starting the last runs of the session. So we will stay on board with... Or is it Liam? In front of him. Liam is on a flyer, so we'll stay on board with him as he comes up to the end of Sector 2. Doesn't go purple, and he's 1.5 tenths down, so it's going to be quite hard for him to pick this up around these final few corners, unless he can get an extremely good exit out of turn 15 and 16 to slingshot him down to the last couple of corners down the end there. We'll see what he can do as he comes across the line. We have a yellow flag, and Williams is slowing himself down. That's Carwin Robb removing himself from the session. And he does improve, but not enough to take over Netsky, nowhere near Netsky. So it's a 129.6, but more solidifies his position in second place. It's a massive 8/10 gap behind. Jay Prentice now starting his lap, so we'll stay on board with him, see if he can get himself out of 17th position. I believe he is the first of the last couple of runners to run the last lap of the session. So we'll stay on board with Prentice. I don't know how that's not invalidation. He somehow keeps it clean and keeps it on the track. Seems to take a lot of curb there, almost too much. But YOLO has also retired, so we've got a few cars dropping out. YOLO, Bowers, Tribe and Carwin. Carwin obviously can't start, but Jay Prentice seems to push the limits there as well, but gets away with that. And he's pushing the car to the absolute max he can. And as long as you can use all that curb and all those exits, you will be increasing your time massively. Here he comes then around turn number 10 into turn 11. Opens DRS. Let's see what he can do. IMAGs also retires, so 6th place the best for him. Jay Prentice 1.1 seconds up already, so he's absolutely smashed it so far compared to his first lap. All he's got to do is keep it valid now, keep it on the track, keep it smooth sailing, and he will improve and put himself up the leaderboard. If it's 1.1 seconds, it should be good enough for a couple of place improvements, nothing major. Let's see where he puts himself now. From 16th to 11th, a 1.7 second improvement, so it's fantastic from him. 11th position, so he can choose what tyre he wants to start on. Here comes Rainman then. We'll stay on board. We'll see if Netsky can improve first. Nope, he's in the pit lane. So Rainman, he hasn't set a lap yet and will not set a lap at all and will start in 18th position. So the AlphaTauri boys starting at both ends of the grid. We have the Williams of Kazakhs crossing the line and improves by nearly half a second. So that is 4th position. Jay Wizzy also improves and puts himself in 5th. Oscar is stopped on the track. Do we have anyone else approaching the line? James is in the pit lane. Vapor Cobalt is coming around the final few corners now. Will he improve? No, he will not. So that's it for qualifying. That's everyone across the line. Your top three is Netsky, Liam, Eklund, followed by Kazakhs, Jay Wizzy, Oscar. Netsky, your second placed man in the championship, is currently on pole. Do we expect anything else? 4 tenths gap to second, and then 3 tenth gap to third position. So Liam coming in as a reserve today for the Haas team, replacing Lisa. Has put his car in second position, so clearly got the pace to contend with some of the best drivers in this league. Eklund, feature race winner, is in P3, and the rest of the field is mixed up, but I'll run you through that once Liam retires from the session. It's all to play for now. We have 27 laps of action coming up around the Sochi Autodrome. And I wish all drivers the best. I hope it's some thrilling action for you all here. So here we go then. Here's the order. Netsky is in front of Liam. And Eklund, Kazakhs, Jay Wizzy. 6th for Oscar, 7th for Roomsy. 8th for IMAGs. James Dovey gets himself in the top 10 in 9th position. Vapor Cobalt in 10th. Jay Prentice just starting outside the top 10 in 11th. YOLO Canadian puts himself in 12th. 13th for Vapor Trent. 14th for Bowers. Ferrari Turo side by side. 15th for Noah Jones. 16th for the Renault of Hindle. Tribe takes 17th, and I think it's CSGB Rainman, followed by Carwin Rob at the back of the grid. So it's all to play for. Strategical options will, of course, be there for the drivers to choose. I believe it's a dry race, so that will be better for racing. Of course, long straights here at Sochi and long DRS straights that come with that. Russia is one of 4 tracks to make its debut in the CSGB racing calendar this season, along with Bahrain, Monaco and China. So 2 brand new circuits for the drivers to contend with for the first 2 races of the season. And tyre wear around here is absolutely at its minimal, so I expect very little tyre wear, but Liam, being a reserve, has readied up when he's not supposed to, as we have a new fuel management system, and I don't think some of the drivers are going to be too happy with that, but we do have a formation lap. I'm going to wait to see if there's any messages, but nothing seems to be coming through, so Liam may have jumped the gun there, but the drivers are just getting on with it. At the moment, it seems to be okay. 55 kilograms of fuel, I believe, maximum allowed for the feature race, and that is halved for the sprint race. So the drivers are having maximum fuel allowed for this season. But Liam is looking to make a dart on Netsky. Netsky will want to pull away, I'm sure. And at the others behind him fight after missing out on 2 wins last time out at Bahrain. He's looking to pull it back and get himself back up the order. I'll run you through the tyre compound. As you can see, only 3 drivers opting to start on the medium tyres. That is Bowers in the Ferrari, Treiby in the Red Bull, and CSGB Rayman in the AlphaTauri. Everyone else choosing the soft compound, and as you can see there, it is an easy soft medium stop today, barring no damages to the cars, and that should be enough to keep them going. So it's going to be pedal to the floor, foot all the way down, and just try and drive as fast as you can in the hope that you can get the overtakes done on a DRS straight. It'd be hard to break a DRS train if the drivers can keep it clean, hoping for no safety cars as they now come round the final couple of corners up towards the line. And let's get ready for lights out here at Sochi. The green flag is being waved. We get ready for lights out. Here we go then. The clutch is engaged. Minimal revs on Netsky's. And it's lights out here, and we're underway. And Liam seems to have got away unbelievably well. He's down the inside of turn 1 already, and he's moved up a position to first position. Everyone seems to be keeping it clean so far. Will the Haas be able to brake late enough to keep Netsky on the outside? And you can bet he does. Netsky, little touch up the back there, and the Kazakhs get past Eklund and Netsky in the space of 1 corner, but Netsky's got the inside line coming up into this long left-hander. It's side by side, but Netsky keeps P2. And the other Alfa Romeo of Oscar is looking to make a move up the inside, but he can't quite get it. But the 2 racing points hold him off. And there was an opening lap that caused a few mishaps for a few drivers, but the other drivers took the position. So a great start there from Liam, already half a second ahead of Netsky. So a great start, great launch. Netsky struggled to get off the line there, bogged down on the dirty side of the circuit, and it's slightly spread out already. We'll take a look and see how many positions people have gone up. It is IMAX making up 2 positions, but other than that, YOLO dropping down 4, which isn't great for him. Colin Robb has already picked himself up a penalty, so I'm not entirely sure what that was for. We'll have a look. It's a 5 second, so it must be collision under some sort of yellow flag. But as we can see now, there's been an incident. Is that James Dovey gone round? Does he have damage? I don't know. I'll get on board with Noah Jones to see what's happening there. No, he must have just accidentally dropped the car and dropped down to 14th position. So Ferrari's taken the key of that. Vapor Trench has got a good start as well, as McLaren are currently sat in P9 and 7. So Oscar has dropped himself down a couple of times. Liam sets the fast lap and is just pulling away. We have Hindle into the pit lane already, so that must be wing damage for the Renault driver. As we see Liam now pulling away from Netsky, which is surprising me. Netsky, of course, will have something to say about that as he chases down the pack. We scroll through the field. It's a very much a snake that we saw in round 1. It's a very long train. Yeah, needs a pit stop to separate it. There are only 1 second gap at the moment. Is currently, well, that's very helpful for the game, isn't it? A nice glitch. We'll try and get on board once this sorts itself out. Well, for now, we just sit in the middle of the pack and watch the cars fly by. But everyone seems to be keeping it clean. No yellow flags so far. That's a very good start from the drivers. Unfortunately, Hindle, as you can see, at the back of the grid, the only man to have pitted. So I need to put the tyres on. I don't know why I haven't done that. Apologies for that. This isn't very helpful from the game. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. It says Hindle's winning when he's clearly not. But he's gone on to the medium tyres. Hindle is winning from the back of the grid. That is absolutely brilliant. But there you go. There you have it. The standings have upgraded themselves. And Liam still leads from Netsky, from Kazakh, from Ekeland. And the two Racing Point boys are very close to one another. We have a sector 3 yellow flag. Somebody gone round. James Dovey's around again. And unfortunately for him, another race goes from bad to worse. And that is wing damage for the Red Bull driver. And he has dropped down to 19th position by his teammate. I missed that. It must have been a collision right at the back of the pile. And that is unfortunate for him, as he will now have to pit. And he gets a 5-second penalty for swinging the pit lane. And it's just gone from bad to worse for the Red Bull driver. And he will be kicking himself after that, I'm sure of it. Not having the best of luck is Mr. James Dudley so far this season. But he will be back. He's got the pace to compete. As we see Ekeland setting purple sectors in 4th position. The front two are pulling away. Netsky just trying to stick on the back of Liam. Liam is keeping that 7/10 gap at the minute. We'll stay on board here though with Ekeland, as he is the closest man to making a move. I can see Vapor come up behind. We already have a few penalties picked up. There are already a few corner cutting warnings going out, so people struggling to keep on the track so far, as Netsky is a little bit closer this time, only 4 attempts, and he may have been using that ERS, which you can see he has, and they have very similar, but he may be able to get the slipstream down this big old straight if he can get the exit out of turn 18. It's quite hard to try and stay behind a car in these tight corners. Any type of slipstream will chuck you around, and dirty air won't help at all. But here we go then. DRS is enabled now, and there you see Netsky's wing opening. He's not going to be anywhere near Liam to make a move, and he's going to have to wait a little bit later down the line, as we see side by side, and Ekeland gets past Kazakhs with a dive down into turn number 2, and he's moved up into 3rd position. I'm sure we'll want to chase onto that front pack. Kazakhs is closely following behind him. As you can see, IMAX is under pressure from Oscar. And it's all kicking off back here. There's moves all over the place. That is Vapor Cobalt getting in front of Noah Jones. And there's gaps are starting to form now. We have a few little packs forming. About 2 or 3. The front two, 5th, 4th and 3rd, and then 2 splits in the middle of the pack from 10th below. But we have a few people that have pitted so far. That is the only 2 people that got damaged. That is Hindle and James W. James W, unfortunately, picked himself up a drive-through penalty as well. Jay Wizzy is at the back of this 3-man little train forming. So it'll be interesting to see if the DRS plays a part into turn number 2. The soft tyre is expected to go 15 laps here today, barring any slip-ups. 15 laps is the lifetime, so you'll be around that time to pit. That's their max. Ekeland sets the fast lap there. Any moves got to be made into turn number 2. Doesn't look like it. Not just yet, but Netsky has closed the gap. As you see, Noah Jones here get past the Williams driver, as Carwin's going to go for a move down the inside as well. It's aggressive on the Haas driver. The Haas has to be pushed over the curb there, so there's not really many places he could have gone YOLO. And the position is kept by the Haas driver, but it was an aggressive move. But nothing that ended in tears, thankfully, for this race. But a nice little pack is forming here. Battle for, well, 12th position at the moment. 11th position. As you see, the soft tyres and mediums splitting themselves. You can see the clear pace difference as YOLO picks up a penalty again. Oh, and that's a Williams into the wall. Was that Vapor Cobalt? Did he get pushed? I'm not sure what happened there. but he looked like he nearly dropped the car. I'm not sure if that was due to his red bar latency. Will there be any moves made here? We've got one further back as a Ferrari off. Bowers making a move around the outside of Rainman, looking to go down the inside as well with the Ferrari. But Bowers says no, he's keeping that position. He's got his elbows out. But it's very thrilling at the back here. Wheel by wheel action. Bowers just flicking over the curb and staying out. But looks like Rainman's got a better exit here. He's going to make a move down into turn 17. No, he's not. He's going to wait for the DRS. But that has slowed Bowers down to the point where we don't have DRS in the car in front. So we may see a move here from Rainman on Bowers into turn number 2. Plenty of ERS to play with. He fires it up with the DRS. Bowers not opting to choose it, and it should be an easy move for Rainman in the end, as long as he doesn't outbrake himself, which he doesn't, and keeps the position. But the Ferrari Bowers will try and fight back round the outside here of turn number 3. It's a long left-hander, but I don't think Bowers has the grip to hold that inside line, and that is the move done from Rainman. At the front, things are still half a second apart, but Liam is leading the way after making a great move into turn number 2 off the start. 5 laps in now, and he's still keeping his 7/10 advantage at the front. Carwin getting close to the back of Cobalt. You can see, but just slowly slipping off there. As we now approach the DRS zone, he may be able to make a move, but Cobalt should just about have the DRS advantage in the car in front. He does pick it up just by half a tenth. But I tell you what, he's going to try and go for a move as Carwin Robb, unfortunately joining late, so he had to start at the back of the grid. Not close enough to make a move down into turn 13. We've got Liam fans in the chat telling him to keep his head down, and that is what he needs to do. But you will always feel the pressure of Netsky behind you, I can tell you that for free. He is going to be pushing him like anything, and as you can see, he almost is pushing him down into turn number 2. But not close enough to make a move, and Liam keeps the lead for now. And Liam should be enjoying this. Plenty of ERS, but Netsky also has the same. They're just a little bit closer this lap, so maybe a move will be made. Oh, and Netsky gets a little bit slidey on the exit of that corner, and that's lost him a couple of attempts. Carwin still fighting there in 13th position with Cobalt. But the field is a little bit spread now. No real moves being made as of yet. Hard tyres last around 30 laps apparently, so you could go from lap 1 all the way to the end on the hard tyres. Here we have Netsky then. He's going to mount a move now as Cobalt picks up a penalty. 3 seconds. Netsky tries to take the deeper entrance so he gets the better exit. He's putting him under pressure. He's just trying to make Liam think here. Not trying to make a move early on. Not trying to ruin his race. Just trying to play it safe and keep it nice and calm. But tell you what, Liam gets good exits out of these final 2 corners and keeps the gap at half a second at the moment. But Netsky is really wanting that position. You can see he's firing open his ERS. He's got to look down the inside of turn number 2. Liam cover it. So will he go around the outside? The AlphaTauri driver going to be wheel to wheel, but there's not enough room around the outside of there, surely, for the 2 drivers. But he's got it down the inside of turn number 3. That's a great move from Netsky. Fantastic. Will Liam be able to fight it back though down the inside of this turn? No, he won't. Netsky has the position back. Fantastic move from the Swede as he switched that back down the inside aggressively of turn 3 and takes the lead on the race on lap 8. Fantastic from him. And Liam has now got it all to do to stay with him. Netsky needed that move. You could tell he wanted it as Netsky picks up a 3-second penalty. That could be crucial in the battle for the lead. Liam just needs to keep it clean, keep it focused. And maybe, just maybe, he may be able to take that win on track. That's what he's got to do. Stay right behind him. That's what he's doing. He knows he's got a penalty now. If he was smart, he would stay with him right behind him. Keep DRS, keep Ekelund behind. Just allow them 2 of them to drive away into the distance. We'll go back to Kazakhs now. Is he any closer to Ekelund? Not quite. Jay Wizzy in 5th position. Roomsy in 6th and IMAX in 7th. Looking down the order, there we see Carwin getting past Noah Jones. That's a lovely glitch. I do enjoy that from the game. Noah is trying to fight back though. Down the inside here. Not close enough to make a move on Carwin. Carwin's working his way up for the back of the grid, so he's done a good job so far, is the Welshman. And Noah tucks in behind as Vapor Trench has got past Romsey, because Romsey has pitted. He's dropped early for the medium tyre, so here we are. The first pitter that isn't due to damage is on lap number 9. So Romsey looking to go to the end on those medium tyres. 22 laps they can do, and 22 laps they will do if he doesn't pick up any damage. Netsky now putting out half a second to Liam. Liam has been closed into slightly from Eklund, but nothing to danger the Haas driver at the moment. Kazakh's not putting enough pressure on Eklund. Eklund won't mind that at all as Jay Wizzy picks up a penalty, which isn't great for him. He'll hope that other drivers around him do. But he's got a 3-second cushion behind him. As we see Jay Prentice up to 8th position, so he's done well so far. As Jay Prentice, number 96 on his car. As we see IMAX getting all out of shape out of turn number 11, and that will gift a position to Oscar around the outside and down into turn 13. As you can see, IMAX must have made a mistake there, and Oscar pounces and takes his opportunity. Jay Prentice will fancy a piece of this action now, I can imagine of that, on the DRS. I'm not entirely sure what IMAX happened to him now. I just saw him all out of shape. And unfortunately for him, Netsky now pitting early onto the medium tyres, so he bites the bullet, as so does Jay Prentice and IMAX, and that is the first few pitters. As you see, a couple of cars dropping in behind as well. Oscar also going in, so that is 4 cars into the pit lane, and Cobalt joins them now. So Liam, will he be able to get a good lap ahead of Netsky? Clean air, no having to worry about defending. Bowers gets himself up into 8th position, starting on the medium tyres. Rayman also does the same. And Tribe, those 3 starting on the medium tyres, remember, they will have to pit, of course, for new tyres. Romsey gets up into 12th position, coming out the pit lane. It's close between Kasich and Eklund, but they could do with DRS, towing each other down. And they would just try and bring each other around to tow each other around for a faster outlap. Will these lot pit this lap, or will they opt to stay out a little bit longer and tow each other around for a bit more pace DRS? At the moment, they both opt to pit. Oh, Kasich swings it wide there, takes a little bit dangerously. Liam also into the pit, so where's Netsky? That's the question you're all asking, I bet. He's coming round turn number 15. In front of him is his teammate. Where will they come out? Netsky then, your current net leader of the race, setting purple sectors, will come out ahead of Liam by quite a distance. So Netsky has done an almighty undercut on Liam. And Netsky will be in the lead of this race. Vapor Trench currently out still on the old soft tyres, so he's going long on them. Probably not going to be beneficial for him, but Netsky now could get a tow from his teammate if Rayman opts to give him one. Should really let him pass and slow down the pack behind him. They'll probably wait for that to happen at some point. And where has Liam come out? Liam has come out behind Tribe ahead of Eklund. Liam is about 2.6 seconds behind Netsky, which means he is still within the range to get past. As we see Liam go around the outside of the Red Bull. While doing that, Netsky's been let past his teammate and onto the back of Bowers. And if he can get DRS here onto the final, on the first straight, Bowers now. Vapor Trench. Is he into the pit lane? No, we stand out yet again, so interesting from him. Netsky will get the DRS of his teammate. Will get DRS of Bowers in front of him. Bowers going long, of course, as is Rayman. Netsky sets the fast lap with a 1:34.4. That'll be done very well to beat. Bowers pulls outside and Netsky gets through into P2. Liam really needs to start moving up the track, the positions, if he wants to get anywhere near Netsky to give him a bit of pressure. At the moment, Netsky's running away from it, and he will continue to run away from it as YOLO picks up another penalty. Bowers currently running in P3 as YOLO picks up a 5-second penalty for speaking in the pit lane. It's gone from bad to worse for YOLO. He's not having the best time so far in this league. He's definitely got the pace to compete. I know he does. I've played with him a few times. He just got to take his time and make sure he's focused to every lap, every corner of the circuit. Currently, Vapor Trench still out. Surely he's going to pit this lap. Be interesting to see what he does, but Netsky still only has closed the gap to 6 seconds into him now. So those tyres clearly struggling. As we see Eklund make a move on Tryby, and it's 3 wide into turn number 13. And it's a double move on Tryby actually. Eklund and Kazak's both passing him. These two are fighting for position, the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. It's close here though. Liam is right on the back of Rayman. Rayman could do his absolute best to hold him up for his teammate. But in the process of doing that, Rayman has picked up a penalty. Where's he going to fight here against Liam? No, he won't. Liam sails past around turn number 2. Rayman will not be fighting back. So that is Liam up in the position. But Rayman's done his job. He's held him up. Oscar has got past Vapor there as he's in the pit lane finally. Jay Prentice not really close to anyone to make a move. And currently we are very separated apart from this battle here, which we're right on board with Ronesy and Jay Wizzy for the battle for 8th position at the moment. Jay Wizzy obviously got that penalty earlier on, which won't be helping his race. So 13 laps in, 13 and a half, halfway through the race. It is a fairly split field. As you can see though, Liam is getting onto the back of Bowers, but Bowers won't be long till he's in the pit lane. Let's just see if he can make a move here. Yeah, fairly straightforward. Bowers is not fighting that. He knows he's on a different strategy as Liam's setting purple sectors. So Liam is closing in now, 3.3 seconds. He needs to close that by 0.3 of a second or hope that Netsky gets another penalty. And he's still definitely in contention to win this race. Rayman tried to hold him up but couldn't do enough. And Liam, as you can see, is still closing the gap. Kazakh and Eklund, two drivers that are very similarly paced so far. And this shows every week, every race. These two are always close to each other on track. Kazakhs, let me get the results up for you from the last race. So Kazakhs finished 3rd place in the feature race, whereas Eklund finished 1st. So these two are very evenly matched. As it comes down to things, Liam slightly slipping off the pace of Netsky. Netsky knows he's got to put his foot down. But this is getting an interesting battle now. Kazakhs right on the back of Eklund, looking to make his move at some point. There is a car in between them. Who is that? Is that Rayman? It is Rayman, so it's a three-way battle now. We still have Rayman and Bowers to pit in 3rd and 4th position, so they will be dropping down the order, as well as Tryby in 7th. But they're doing well on their long stints as Rayman pulls out and separates the two drivers. And Williams is going to dive down the inside. Contact is made with Rayman. Rayman may not be happy with that. It is a lunge from Kazakh. Kazakh gets around the outside. So it's a good move from him after an aggressive nudge earlier on. But he needs to do his best to stay with Eklund. And he will have his DRS for this straight. whereas Eklund will not. So this could bring him a little bit closer into the back. Bowers and Rainman staying out for now. Just waiting for that pit box to open to go onto the soft tyres. Getting very tight back here for these drivers. Roomsey looking to jump on the back of Jay Wizzy as Tryby is holding them up. At the moment, this could end in tears if one person makes the wrong move. Vapor Cobalt gets past Cole and Rob for P15 back there. It's very close here though, and we'll stay on board with it. Cole and Rob picks up another penalty. Liam slowly closing the gap though, as you can see, just time's going down, and that is now within 3 seconds, so that is within the gap needed to win this race. Netsky has clearly made a mistake here. Just jump on board with him, he doesn't have any damage, he's just slowed ever so slightly. Eklund gets past Bowers, but Kazakhs doesn't, so that means Eklund may be able to pull away from his rival. Jay Wizzy gets past Tryby, which means Roomsy's going to be stuck in the back of the sandwich. Here goes Bowers then pitting this lap. Will Rainman follow him? No, he won't, so he's doing the opposite to Bowers in hopes that he can get a overcut on him. But here we are then. Bowers, Kazakhs and Eklund not within a second of each other, so the move from Eklund has moved him up a position there. And he's done a great job. Bowers comes out in P11. Maybe oh no, he's not. P14. So he's got some time to make up. Roomsy getting very close to the back of Tryby now. He's getting close around the outside. If he's going to look down the inside, no, he's not. He pulls out of the move, and that's going to send Oscar Sandra right at the back. He had to slam his brakes on. Been asked to show the penalties. I think there's only 3 seconds at the top. Yep. Only 3 seconds of current people in the top 10. 6 for Vapor Cobalt. 12 for Cobalt. 6 for Cole and Rob. 14 for Yolo and 5 for James. So there are your penalties. Netsky currently got a 3 second penalty, and the gap is 3.1. It keeps choppy and changing in and out. As you can see, Roomsy getting around the outside there. And gets the move done. As does Oscar. So Oscar's right on the back now of Roomsy. Tryby's let them both through. Hoping to capitalise on a mistake from the pair of them. Tryby needs to pit. Does Rainman go in this lap? No, Rainman opts to stay out yet again. So he's going to go even longer on those medium tyres and hope that he can have the pace and the distance, or maybe hope for some sort of VSC or safety car to help him out as Vapor Trench gets past Tryby. So Tryby clearly struggling. He's not clearly struggling, he's into the pit lane. So he felt the danger of those tyres as Kazakhs picks up a 3 second penalty now. So that's not going to help his fight with Eklund. And that may mean Eklund can just take things a little bit more careful now and almost allow, if needs be, for Kazakhs to get past him. But he's still starting almost 1 second behind. Hindle passes Tryby coming out the pit lane. So Tryby's long stint hasn't really paid off for him. Neither has Bowers on the alternative strategy. I can only hope that Rainman's is a bit better than theirs too, if he hopes to get points for this race, but it's not looking promising from his position at the moment. And he'll probably drop down the order quite a lot on those soft tyres. But those drivers may be able to take the fastest lap point away from some of the faster drivers up at the front. Jay Prentice picking himself up a 3 second penalty. Liam is just doing his job at the moment. He's staying there. He's got plenty and plenty of ERS in store, but so does Netsky. Slight burst with 10 laps to go. It's 1 lap, and once you keep it in between those lines, once Liam applies the pressure, Netsky will have the ERS, as you can see, to apply the pressure to force a response. So as you can see, Liam's closed the gap there just by using the ERS alone, so it may counter a Netsky ERS, and there you see it, pressing the ERS now just to try and get that position back, but he's closed the gap by 3 tenths. It's an ERS battle here. Netsky, he knows what he's doing, he's proven that. He knows he's experienced, he knows how to race these cars, he knows how to eke the fastest time, he knows the strategies well. But Liam, I'm sure, does as well, and he's shown that so far. I don't know too much about him, but he's got a lot of pace about him, and he's got fans in the chat as Hindle opts the pit again, as he will probably need to. .1 is the answer. Is to use the answer now. As you can see, Netsky has used his lot of more of his ERS, and Liam is so it's just trading ERS at the moment. These two, they're just waiting to pounce and waiting to make a move. It's whether Liam can just keep the pace there. No mistakes can be made now from the two drivers. As we are now got to stay on board with Jay Wizzy, who's right on the back of Rainman. Rainman's still out on those medium tyres. So it'll be interesting to see if he pits anytime soon. And he does pull into the pit, so eventually Rainman pulls into the pit lane. Bowers gets past Carwin down into turn number 15 on those brand new soft tyres, and he will only pull away from the cars behind him and hopefully onto the back of his teammate. He will hope he will have a lot more pace than the cars behind. As CSGB Rainman will come out very far down the order, unfortunately for him. But 3 seconds to gap still, and a massive chunk of time all the way back to Eckelund. Kazak's 1.5 behind, but 3-second penalty means he's 4.5 behind realistically. Roimsey is within a second of Jay Wizzy, and Oscar is also on the back of this train. So these are the only DRS battles we've got going on at the moment. 4 points positions. The McLaren's currently sitting in 7th position in the Constructors' Championship. The Alfa Romeo boys would take plenty of points here, but Netsky is just going to improve the AlphaTauri score up at the top if he can take the points. But again, the time is under 3 seconds this time. It's going to be a matter of patience here with 7 laps to go. Oscar not close enough to make a move, but he's closed the gap a lot there in that corner. We've got a sector 3 yellow flag. There is a Eckelund. He's slowed down there a lot. There's a yellow flag, so whether he nearly crashed where he dropped the car, that could have been a safety car if that gone badly, but no, it's not. And that would have played right into Liam's hand, I could tell you. Liam would have loved that. Liam now just dropping off a little bit more. Netsky, because having around the same amount as ERS doesn't show much good news for Liam at the moment. But Liam, nobody knows, he's got 1 lap newer tyres, and that could pay all the dividends come lap 26, 27. Got a little bit more grip, a little bit more ERS, and 1 absolutely incredible flying lap. As Oscar can't close the gap yet to Roimsey. Hindle sets the fastest lap from P18, so he's probably taken that point away from any of the drivers in the top 10, so that means 1 less point to fight for. 1 more point towards the title for any of the drivers. Netsky now 3.4 in the lead, but back comes Liam, closing down. Now this gap's over a second. This is 0.5 here. The field very spread out. We saw this at Bahrain. Tribe picks himself up a penalty down to 16th position. Shane Stubby's done 16 laps on his medium tyres, so they're going to be feeling a lot of pain, but I'm sure he'll try and go to the end on them. Rainman sets the fastest lap. They were 32.8. So he's taken that point and thrown it in the bin for everyone else. Unfortunately, but those soft tyres will be very, very quick at this stage in the race, especially 1 lap old. Hindle will be having the same down there, but I'm sure them two are driving around for a bit of fun at this stage. Not too much to fight for with very little laps to go. The gap is around 3 seconds. Netsky has been using his ERS, but so has Liam, and that lockup will not be helping him out of turn number 30. The gap remains 3 seconds at the moment. A little DRS train forming for the battle for 5th. Lots of lockups. As you can see, the tyre marks on that corner. Turn 13 is a very, very tricky brake zone. A lot of tyre and rubber left on the inside apex. But no one's had a fatal collision yet. And we still have, I might curse this, all 19 drivers left in the race. As YOLO goes into the pit lane for another time. Maybe just trying to get a faster lap. 3 seconds still to gap though. And this train is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. But not tight enough for a move just yet. Another 3 second penalty for YOLO. YOLO is struggling with the penalties. I'll take another double check of the penalties just in case I've missed anything, but I don't believe anyone has a penalty just yet. Jay Whitty's got 6 seconds worth, so Rumsey knows he can play it safe. Sat in behind, but Oscar will also go up with addition. You don't think he's going to be able to pull away 3 seconds ahead of Rumsey now. So for now, that is a waiting game. Mags knows as well the drivers in front of him have penalties. So we'll go up a few positions. There will be a lot of chopping and changing come the finish line. But the main one we're looking for here... Well, hold on. Kazakh's got ahead of Ekeland. Did I miss something? I must have. Oh, Ekeland made a mistake, didn't he? Back in... Yeah, I do remember that now. So, that happened. So, the gap here is now around 3 seconds as well. So we've got the same sort of situation going on for 3rd position as we do 2nd position. As 1st position, sorry. So the gaps are around very equal gaps, as you can see. 3.2 between 3rd and 4th, and 3.2 between 1st and 2nd. A lot of drivers picking up penalties here. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers without penalty. Noah Jones manages to make a move past the McLaren of Jay Prentice. Is Jay Prentice going to fight down the inside? No, he's not. He hasn't got the pace to do that. Bowers. Rayman picks up another penalty. 3 seconds again for him. Lap 23 here, and Netsky is not 3 seconds clear of Liam, so Liam is doing his job. We're right on board with Liam to see how he's driving, how he's coping. Jay Prentice picks up a 3 second penalty. Liam 35%, Netsky 43%. You can imagine that's when that's going to be burnt, can't you? 2.8 seconds to go. Liam keeping it where he needs to keep the car to win a race. James Darby picks up a 3 second penalty. That was a lot of curb there from Liam. He must be touching a penalty himself here, so he really does not want to get that. But as you can see, he's dropped off, and that may have unsettled him slightly. YOLO sets to fast lap, 32.8. Another lock-up from Liam. Netsky used the ERS down that straight. That's why he's pulled away, though. That's why he has pulled away by another couple of attempts. That just shows the power of it as Rayman makes a move around. Vapor Cobalt. These two might make a move past each other. Into turn number 2. If he can get his DRS sorted in time. Romsey's got past Oscar here. We'll stay on board with this. Oscar takes 6th position of the race. He would have done anyway with penalties if it stays the way it does. And Jay Wizzy is up the road. Jay Wizzy has 6 seconds worth, so Roomsy currently sitting in 5th position on a net scoreboard. Barring in mind he doesn't get a penalty himself. Eklund well inside the position on Kazakhs to get 3rd place with the penalty for the Williams driver. Liam slowly dropping off, but it's still been around the 3-second gap. It's going to be intense. 2 laps to go now. Well, 3 laps, sorry. 25, 6 and 7. Liam, he can see Netsky out the road. He's not using his ERS. They've got exactly the same amount. And these 2 drivers just are staying at equidistance since lap number 6 or 7, really. When Netsky made that brilliant move around his corner, you see it now. Down the inside. Caught Liam napping ever so slightly. Netsky now nearly half a second in the clear. And Liam may be feeling it at the moment. Netsky picks up a penalty. He'll be kicking himself. But he's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep the thing. And Jay Wizzy picks up another penalty. That's 9 seconds for him. And that will hand Roomsy a position on the plate. And I imagine Oscar and Vapor. If we just go back onto this battle here. Very much spread. And with 9 seconds to his name, Wizzy will drop down. Maybe all the way to 9th. Eklund should comfortably be taking P3 if he can continue to keep it clean. Oscar just tucked in behind Roomsy. Roomsy can keep it calm and clean as he likes. Everyone around him's got penalties. The man next to is Bowers. He's miles down the road on the alternative strategy. As we come round, start lap 26. Penultimate lap here as Rainman makes a move. I'm not sure what's happened. There seems to be a lot of fighting going on here. And 2 have gone to the pits. Colin Rob and Jay Prentice into the pit lane. Has one got wing damage? They both got wing damage. That must have been a crash. I missed that. I have no idea what's happened, but either way, they absolutely messed themselves up. And they're both pitting to put on a new set of tyres. New pair of softs and to go for a faster lap on the last lap of the race. 3.6 seconds the gap now between Liam and Netsky. Netsky's under pressure though from a back marker of Hindle, who's going to try and make it life difficult for him. This could be interesting. So if Netsky can get put under pressure from Hindle, Hindle could make things interesting for Liam. Let's stay on board with this. We'll get on board with Hindle because he will have DRS on the AlphaTauri driving. It's the final lap time. Netsky is giving it absolutely everything. And look, down the inside goes Hindle. He's going to fight the position backs. Hindle is going to make this race interesting. Liam is now 3.5 seconds behind. If Netsky can be held up, and look, you can see if time is dropping. Liam's got to give it absolutely everything. His fuel light's flashing. Netsky can't afford to back off too much. Hindle, if he knew the situation, maybe just trying to slow him down a little bit. But Liam is not closing in at the rate he needs to be. Netsky is using his ERS. He's almost used it all though, to be fair to him. As we now come up to the start of Sector 2, and they're in it now, and the long straight is going to happen. This is where it's going to be decided, I think. Who's got the most ERS? Who's got the most of it? It's 10% more for Liam. As you can see, Netsky deployed it, almost run out all the way before the straight's even started, and you can see they're doing the same thing behind. And it's going to be close. Netsky will have a little bit of slipstream down, who's going to be faster on the brakes. Netsky then is 3.1. It's under, it's 3.1 seconds. It's there or thereabouts. Will Liam get the job done? It's going to be interesting to see. Can he make up the time? Netsky coming up to turn 17 and 18. It's very close. It's very, very close. It's going to be even closer if you cross the line. Netsky crosses the line in P number 1. He slides up the exit. Liam, has he closed the gap in time? No, he hasn't. 1.2 tenths off the lead. Very close. Absolutely fantastic race from the pair of them. Kazakhs will come across the line to take P3. But he will not take that for longer, as Ekelund will come up behind and take it from him. Third place for Ekelund after finishing first. And that will be 4th place for Kazakhs. Jay Wizzy crossed the line in 5th, but he will not stay there. Rumsey takes 5th, Oscar 6th, Mags in 7th, Vapor Trench 8th. Jay Wizzy drops all the way down to 9th, like I said earlier on. Bowers crossed the line, takes 10th position on the alternative strategy, so he gets himself a point. Noah Jones, his teammate, picks up 11th. Rainman gets 12th after dropping down the order, so a good recovery at the end there for him. Vapor Cobalt is chipped to the line by Tribe due to penalties. James Dovey is going to come around the final few corners now, as they are bored of him. He has had a struggle, but that was an absolutely brilliant race for the front two. All the way there's action. We knew what it was going to come to. The ERS was going to be the battle. You could just tell it, the way they were both saving it. James Dovey takes 15th, Carwin takes 16th and the fastest lap. Jay Prentice, unfortunately for him, had an incident with, I'm not entirely sure who with, I think it was Carwin. Hindle could have held up there, but that is an absolutely fantastic race from those guys. And you know what? It's not over. We've got another 50% race, so we will see. We will see Netsky and Liam battle it out from the back of the grid this time in about 15 minutes time. I'm going to get a few of the drivers in. I would like to get Liam and Netsky in to talk about that battle for a interview, because that was simply fantastic from them. I'll see who else we can get in the stream for a comment, but they will run through the final order. Netsky, Liam, Ekelund, Kazakhs, Royalty top 4 to 5 from Scandinavia. Liam splitting the difference. Then the British boys, IMAX, Vapor Trench, Jay Wizzy, Bowers, Noah Jones, Rainman, Tribe, Vapor Cobalt, James Dovey, Carwin, Rob, Jay Prentice, Hindle and YOLO. So the 3 drivers I would like to get in for an absolute brilliant performance are the top 2, and we will go for Vapor Trench if he fancies it. So I'll put them in the chat. I'll ask for them to see if they get them in here for a party. And we will see if they fancy it. But an absolute fantastic performance from them lot. Why can't I find these guys? That was an absolutely incredible. Just create a party. Let's see if anyone comes in, see if they fancy it. If anyone is watching, anyone want to jump in for an interview about the race to kill a bit of time? It was an absolute stellar performance from every driver, to be honest. No safety cars, no virtual safety cars, and no did not finishes. Yes, Jay Prentice has joined. The man, myth, the legend. He's joined me. I'm lonely. JP, what went wrong, mate?
Pretty much everything except that one, to be honest. Yeah, it was. I didn't have much pace. I don't have much pace, yeah, it just went backwards when a couple of the faster drivers came through. Had a bit of contact late on with the Mercedes, avoidable contact from my point of view, which spun me into a wall and sent me into the barrier. But the positives are.
Yeah.
Positives are that, obviously I'm slightly higher up than I'd expect to be for the reverse grid, so hopefully I can convert that at some point. Roimsey did really well for us as a team, so we've still scored.
Yeah, he got himself up the field, kept himself a few positions. He managed to pick up a few positions, I think, at the end there, due to a couple of penalties ahead of him, so he did well.
Where did he end up?
I think it was, let me just go back and have a look, P6-ish?
Yeah, because he was running sort of 6th or 7th, and there was a time where I was keeping up, but
yeah, so he did well. Got some points for you.
Yeah, so well done to him at least.
I believe he got 5th. He got 5th position.
He got 5th, and myself getting 6th last week means that at least
good
in the
points
race, which is where you scored the most points, you can. And we've done okay as a team. So.
Yeah, the battle for first position was absolutely incredible, I can tell you that. Netsky had a 3-second gap ahead, but had a 3-second penalty, and it was just chopping changing within the 3-second gap, and then in the end it was 1/10 in it between the top two. Just all the way around. It was an ERS battle. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. But yeah.
No, fair play. At least there was some fun, but sadly, not really for me.
Yeah. Well, you've got a chance to make it up now in about 5 minutes' time. The invites have just been sent out, so you can join if you fancy it.
Yeah.
And I'll let you get on with your race. Okay then everyone, you've heard from Jay Prentice. Unfortunately he had a disappointing race for himself. We will be getting ready to go here for Sochi again. It will be the reverse grid sprint race. No one DNF'd, so the grid how it finished will be the way it is and reversed. Unfortunately, as it's such a quick turnaround, stewards' inquiries cannot be encountered into these so quickly. So it will be feature race, sprint race, and then the stewards will take a look at all the options and incidents about how we can change and chop and change positions coming into into next week's race for round 3. But now we are waiting the arrival of the drivers. The grid is being sorted out and is on for the sprint race here around Sochi. The weather could be raining. That would be a nice little change for us if that did happen. Something to spice up the atmosphere. Maybe have a few little crashes we didn't have in that race. There's been no complaints from anyone so far in any of the chats, so that's a good sign to see. And yeah, brilliant racing from the lot of them. Those races up and down the field. That started off so close. Good train going on all the way around, and then, as you'd expect, the breakout groups would form. Liam pushed Netsky to the final line, but just couldn't do enough, and unfortunately for him, he finishes second place. There is Kazakhs. Hello, mate. I can't hear you. Hello, hello. Kazakhs, are you here? Oh, hello. I can hear you now.
Stream.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, all right.
I can hear Jay Prentice. Let me see if it works in the stream. So, mate. Yeah, okay, I can hear you. Right, we're good. So,
Yes.
4th position in the end. You did pick up a penalty, am I right?
Yeah,
So
it
that-
was a bit of a bullshit penalty, not gonna lie. I got pushed wide a little bit. But
So you're going to try and inquire about getting it removed, or do you feel like it was...
it was quite justified, not gonna lie.
Okay. Did you pick up any penalty warnings later on?
No.
Okay.
So I might just try to get it off.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll
it's up
see.
to you. If you feel like it was due to collision, then you might be able to get it off. But again, you got to let the stewards.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many stewards inquiries this week. It was clean racing. You and Eklund seem to push each other every single week. Do you enjoy racing with him?
Yes, it's really fun racing with Ekelund. He gives so much respect to his oppositions and always clean racing, never causes any collisions. It's fun
Yeah,
racing with him.
you two are always so close to each other. I was like, every time I watch, it's like, so you two are either like round sort of podium positions. You two just couldn't jump onto the top 2 this week. Liam and Netsky pulled away from you, but you managed to hold your own in for 3rd and 4th. Do you reckon you had a bit more pace there that you didn't find, or was that your max? We're on the max there today.
If I had done more practice today, I feel like I could have done much better in qualifying at least.
Yeah.
But in the race, I don't think I can go much faster than that.
Yeah.
Ekelund quite just pulled me along with the DRS.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you've got to do, innit? Just stay with each other and just keep the positions and maybe fight a bit later down the line. But yeah, you did well, and I think we're not too far away from starting the sprint race, so you'll be starting in 15th-ish position. So it'll be a nice little battle for you to get through.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, we will see how that goes.
All the best, mate. I'll let you get back to it, and yeah.
Yep. All right.
Good luck, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
So there we have it. 2 drivers came in and had a little chat to us. Nice for them to jump in, say a few words about the race. It's always good to hear straight after, as you know, some of the incidents can be quite interesting to listen to, but I think it just shows that all the drivers have respect for each other, and it's a nice, clean racing league here this evening. And it's fantastic that these guys turn up every week and enjoy it. Put the best cars out on track, and you know, these lot. It is only a game, but it's also a lot of fun and a lot of competitiveness, and especially in the times we're in, it's good to get a lot of people out and about. You want a pop quiz? Oh, we want a quiz in the chat, do we? Okay. When does it get fun from James Dovey? That's a good quiz question. When you win this race, mate, and it'll be fun. Pop quiz time. Oh Lord, you've thrown it on me now. How many of you are in it? 14. Should I try and find a quiz question? Okay, who won the 1981 Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort? I'll give you a clue. It was a Renault car. The car was a Renault. Who won the 1981 Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort? The first person to put the correct answer in the chat gets, I don't know, a thumbs up from me, I think. Alain Prost is the correct answer, Imran. You're playing on your own, mate, but it is the correct answer. I'm not sure if Google helped you out, but that is the correct answer, so well done. The answer was Alain Prost. Unfortunately, Kazakhs. I'm going to try and find a couple more. Here's a question. Why was the 2005 United States Grand Prix so controversial? What was that specific reason? Why was the 2005 United States Grand Prix so controversial? Imran's come in with tyres, and he's won again, lads. This man's on fire. If you want a pub quiz team, or a pop quiz team, wherever you're from, get the man in. Either way, it was tyres. The people, 14 cars. Was it 14 or was it 16? Cars didn't race because of the different choice of tyres. I don't know how long we've got now till we've got a race. I don't know, I'm just reading. Mr. Fast and Mr. Intelligent, you tell them. You tell them. Let me just get the standings up. That may put Netsky into the first place. We've got an announcement in the Discord. And that must be... thumbs up, ready's up. There we go, been given a green light, so it's time to go for the sprint race. 13 laps of pure speed around Sochi. If the rain does come down, then it'd be more like an ice rink out here. And more like the Winter Olympics we saw. But earlier on it was sunny. And a soft medium strategy may be the option here for the drivers. Let's see what they go for. Let's see if they can put their foot to the floor and have a nice hard fought racing. Obviously not as many points on offer for the sprint race, but still plenty on the line for some of the drivers that may have not picked up many places earlier on. The drivers can only put half the amount of fuel in there from the previous race, which I believe is 27.5 kilograms maximum. Don't quote me on that correctly. I think it's that. 27.5. Jay Prentice, we are waiting for you. No, we've got spinning bars. And we're waiting still. And still waiting. And here we go. The game chooses to load. It's very slowly. Oh, lovely. The rain is coming down in steroids. That's why it took so long. Because the rain was absolutely loading its way into the track. And it's going to be a lovely, lovely wet sprint race for the cars. Oh, do get yourself ready. Get yourself a cup of tea. Get yourself a drink. Because it's going to be wet, wet, wet. Oh, it's beautiful. They kept it clean in the feature race, but I'm telling you now, they're not keeping it clean around here. Wet 90-degree corners. I'm telling you now. Get ready for some action, because I'm looking forward to this. We are well over, I don't know how long we are into the stream, but I still get energy. Drivers now putting on their setups, hopefully, and they're going to be altering them. Whoever's calm with a wet setup will do well in this race. Guys, lower that ride height. Get yourself a bit more height, just a bit more clearance, and you'll be all right. Just change your wings, play it safe, avoid crashing into each other. But if you want to, it would be a laugh. But we don't want that. We want a clean racing. We want good racing. We want to show why CSGB is F1 is a very, very clean league, and why it should be appealing to everyone out there. Those 16 of you watching the stream, if you haven't pressed the like button already, please do. It'll be very much appreciated. 5 of you have already. Please subscribe if you haven't. We are on 40 subscribers now, 41. And all the cars are on the intermediate tyres. YOLO starting from the front of the grid after having a very, very difficult start. So it'd be good for him to see if he can get the points on the board. Here we go then. And as you can see, it's foot to the floor. No stop racing, so this is like a sprint. This is a sprint race, so no strategy involved. Those intermediates will go to the end of the race according to the amazing technology that Codemasters give us. The amazing timing. Screened Hindley drops the car there. So here we run through the order. We have YOLO in the Haas from Hindle, who does have a lot of pace, to be honest. He's a very quick driver, so I won't see why he can't win this. YOLO will battle him hard though. Jay Prentice in third position. Carwin in fourth. James Duffy fifth. Vapor Cobalt is in sixth. Tribe seventh. Rayman is in eighth. Noah Jones and Bowers sitting in the middle of the pack in ninth and 10th. Jay Wizzy in 11th. Vapor Trench 12th. IMAGs in 13th. Oscar in 14th. Roomsy in 15th, Kazakh 16th, Eklund 17th, Liam 18th, and your feature race winner, Netsky P19 last week. He went from the back of the grid, no, second last on the grid, to second overall, so he did a madness. I have been informed that it's going to dry up, so let's enjoy this wet weather for what it's worth. And let's get ready to go racing, because it's gonna be a wet one for the start. So there might be a pit stop in there somewhere, but a pit stop here is quite a long time, and if it takes a while to dry up, then it could be worth staying out, because that is at least 20 seconds or 20 something seconds or so to get in and out for a set of tyres, and with a couple of laps to go, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to hold off on the intermediates. Liam Manetsky taking about 5 months to get around the final few corners. Should have tactical or just not it. But here we go then. Clutches are engaged, the lights are flashing, the rain's coming down, and Roymesy's got a jump start. And we're underway in Sochi in the rain. Roymesy's dropping back. Manetsky's got the jump on Liam. And does there seem to be any trouble back there? There is a yellow flag. It's don't know what. Oh my lordy lord. Virtual safety car. 2 Alfa Romeos round. Oscar Ekelund. And what was a clean feature race has ended up in absolutely no front wing for Oscar. Wing damage for Ekelund, so that's a double stack guaranteed. Hindle got past Yolo at the start there. Sorry I missed that, but it's all action packed at the back. Prentice has kept himself in P3. Tribe's moved up a little bit. Bowers has got an absolutely unbelievable start. Competition change 5 places for Bowers. Tribe's gone up 3. 8 positions for Kazakhs. Well, that is absolutely incredible. Carwin's absolutely had a shocker. Vapor Cobalt's gone down, so is Dovey. There are a few penalties kicking about. Netsy's gone up 6th to 13th. So, an interesting start as the virtual safety car ends, and Yolo's all over the back here. And so's Tribe trying to go out the back of Jay Prentice, pushing him all the way through that corner. So it's been a lot of action going on already in the open places. Noah Jones has got past James Dovey, and the 2 Alfa Romeos struggling at the back. Tribe saying purple sector number 2. It's very close here with the front 4. Yolo is lagging around, but that's because he's in Canada. But he's picked it back up now, so just a little bit of connection issues there, but that's nothing on his end. That's just because he lives in a completely different part of the world from himself and the host. Yolo struggling out of the corner, but he's still in 2nd place. If he plays it safe, he will manage to get through. Netsky, a little bit late on the brakes there, Tribe. Netsky's already up to 12th position. He's made ease of the back lot. Cobalt's into the pits as well, as is James Dovey. And James Dovey's called it a day. And another disappointing end from James. I'm sure he's not particularly happy with that. Oh, Jay Prentice is all over the place. He's taken the proper line you're meant to take out of the corner if you get pushed across to avoid himself getting a penalty, and he keeps the position, but it's Tribe around the outside. Is it? Should be. Goodbye, James. Sorry, mate. You will get there one day, I promise. Keep going. But the lovely glitch here, that has no idea what's going on here. Bowers is on the back of Jay Prentice now. Bowers is doing drifts for the fans. He tried that at Vietnam last year, and that ended him in the wall. What is going on? Who's winning the race? All I know is Vapor Trench is all over. We've got a yellow flag. What's happened? What's happened? What's happened? What's happened? What's happened? I don't know what's happened because I can't see the timing boards. Carwin is... Well, that's what's happened. Carwin's got no front wheel. Apparently he's winning, but he's not looking like that. Who was winning? Hindle was winning. And still is, by the looks of things. Hindle coming around the final corner. At this time, it's Lucky Deer. Please sort yourself out, game. Ekelund isn't winning. He's miles, but there we go. I can get back to it. I can understand what's going on. So it is Hindle from Yolo. Hindle pulled out a decent lead at the front. The track is drying up, though, as you can see there on the racing line. But the rain is still coming down. Jay Prentice is right on the back of Tribe now. Well, as I say that, he falls a little bit further away. Vapor Trench fancies a bit of the action. There's a 1 second gap back to Rainman, but he's pulled up a lot of positions. Kazakhs is in 7th. Mags right on the back of Kazakhs. Kazakhs is struggling around here. No move made. Bowers and Noah Jones right behind one another. So there's a bit of... Oh, it's a crash, a big crash. What's happened here? That is a racing point in the wall. As a Racing Point stuck on the track, he can't do anything to get out of the way of that. There was a collision there with the Kazakh. I think it was with the Williams. I'm not entirely sure. Or it might have been with CSGB Rainman. And there's yellow flags. Still yellow flags. And no safety car. Oh, we have Eklund who's hit the wall again. He's going for bad to worse as Netsky makes a move for P10. Back in the points already from the back of the grid. That's 10 positions up, 9 positions up for himself. Bowers has profited from the mistake of the Racing Points. So did Rayman, but I'm not sure if he was involved or if anyone was at all, as Vapor Trench is getting very close to the back of Jay Prentice. Obviously no DRS in these conditions. And that is what you call tucked inside the pocket. Just got to look up the inside. Jay Prentice gets a nudge there out the back. I'm not sure if he broke early, but that is wing damage for Vapor Trench. Jay Prentice is getting nudged all over the place. What is Vapor doing? He keeps it clean, but he's got wing damage for his troubles. And it may allow... We have Eklund, who is out the race in the pit lane. Rainman in the rain, looking to be the man down the inside. Not today, unfortunately for him. Yellow flags all over the place. Hindle currently running away with the win so far in this race. You can see the light. Rain is lightening up as we have 9 laps to go here. 2 seconds to gap. 1.1 behind. Roimsey up to a few people in the pit lane, and of course that is because of damage. So a big gap forming now. All the cars going to the intermediate tyres. But it does look it's drying up, so we could have a pit stop. We've been told 10 more minutes of rain. That will probably, well, that's gonna, if that is the case, that will, if it's still raining for 10 minutes, then the inters will go to the end. No penalty so far, so we'll jump aboard with this as Bowers is getting very close to this little train of Rainman and Trench, and fixes his brake zone well not to plough into the back of the 2 drivers ahead of him. Spray kicking up all over the place, nice and patient on the throttle, as you can see by the input in the bottom right corner. But that is his view through his helmet, and basically it's a massive free-for-all back here for the mid-point positions, all the way back to P11 as you can see, and Liam dives down the inside of Bowers, caught him napping. Liam's up to 7th position. Liam has got a great start to this sprint race, and Netsky is still down in 10th position, but he's on the back of this. You can imagine him making moves, can't you? You know he will. And we have in front of him, it's Rainman going down the inside of Vapor Trench. No, not just yet. As he flick through the back, no one's making a move, so it all stays in position as Bowers runs a little over the curb, but not quick enough to give himself a penalty. Roimsey sets the fastest lap. And it's all getting a bit clustery up the top. Liam, as Rainman's gone down the inside. Was it a fake? No, but Liam is now up the outside round this corner. Coming up. Rainman's going to fight it around the inside. Liam tries to keep on track. He does. This great clean racing from the pair of them. It's side by side. I can't see what's going on now. Rainman still has the position, but he's not going to give it up as Liam round the outside here. And one move is a little bit of contact. Oh, as Vapor Trench gets wiggly, let's 5-1 to one corner. What's going on? The Ferraris are side by side now. As we dive now down turn number 11, turn 10 and 11. It's anyone's race in this midfield. This is bloody great racing. Raymond's dropped all the way down to 10th position. Netsky's taking it past him. Noah Jones has got past Bowers in that tussle, and Vapor Trench has somehow managed to hold on to 6th position, but Liam is the one who capitalised from all of that. We have our first couple of penalties coming in, Tribe, Wizzy and Sandblom. Noah has got past... What is happening? Jay Wizzy can't get past Rayman. Rayman unfortunately has been done in the rain. Bowers is trying to get out of a AlphaTauri sandwich, but he can't at the moment. Noah Jones up into 6th position. Jay Prentice doing a good job sitting in 4th place. He obviously knows the car in front of him has a penalty, so he can drive as clean as he wants. Hindle has driven off into the distance, and Tribe, who has a penalty, knows he now needs he knows he needs to knuckle down and get a position. The Williams boys are fighting, so Kazakhs has got past his teammate. And from 11th place upwards, Netsky has got past! Oh, Vapor Trench is in the wall. That looks like a collision with Netsky. And Netsky's got past somehow. Noah Jones is right in front of him. Bowes is on the back of him, but he's not going to send it down the inside. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Vapor Trench seemed to lose the outside of the car and spin into the wall. Mercedes on the softs. Oh, he is. Carwin's on the softs. Interesting. Cheers, Tom. Is he struggling? Yes, is the answer to that. Bowes can't get past Netsky. Netsky up into 7th position, but quite a bit off the back of Noah Jones. But I think we know who the faster driver is at the moment. Netsky's fought his way up. We'll have a look-see position change. And that's 12 position up for Netsky and 13 up for Liam. So they're just a class of field today. Absolutely fantastic effort from them so far. And we're still only halfway through the sprint race, so anything can happen, and it looks like it's clearing up. The rain is very ever so slightly spitting now. Rayman hasn't had a great time. We have a yellow flag. That is a Mercedes, and that is Carwin, who's chosen to go on the soft tyres, and well, that clearly isn't the best decision, as it's still raining. Too early to go onto them, and it might not even be time to go on them at all, as Jay Wizzy's getting close to the back of Bowes, but with no DRS he's not going to be assisted. You seem a little bit tentative there to turn in just in case the back end went. Whimsy gets past Trenches in the pits. Colin Robb has left the race. He's given up on him in soft tyres. It was worth a gamble, but the gamble that did not pay off. Liam, huge lock-up right out to the back of Jay Prentice. We have a yellow flag. That is a Mercedes. There is Vapor Trench, not Vapor Trench, that is Carwin's car. It's parked on the circuit, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Liam closing on the back of Jay Prentice. He's got up this field extremely quickly. Looking to take up his 14th position in half the amount of laps. Jay Prentice goes to the inside to defend early. Liam goes round the outside. He's got the dry racing line. Prentice is going to have wet tyres, and Liam gets another position back. The reserve driver for Haas today, making himself very, very useful indeed. A lot better than Fittipaldi when he was in the Haas. But as you can see, it's very dry with 6 laps to go. As Hindle brings us round the final turn to complete lap 7 and starts number 8. He's only getting quick, as you can see. YOLO is actually in the points, but the rain has now, it's not stopped, but it's stopping. The race is still on here, a few less cars in it, but nonetheless, it is still very tight, and Jay Wizzy is going to be using all his power he's got. Bowes also has a lot of DRS, and he's not going to be close enough to make a move, so Bowes using his wet experience. Bowes, of course, last season in F2 was the Rain Master. One race is clearly in F2, and that's why he's in this division this season, and he's looking to score points. Just try and find the championship standings to see if he has scored many this season. In fact, he hasn't scored any points. So Bowes looking for his first points of the season. He's under a lot of pressure here from Jay Wizzy, who was last week's sprint race winner. The Alpha, the Racing Point driver, repping the same colour helmet, pink and black. The obviously now Aston Martin team. The track you can see is dry. The drivers will have Jeff in their ears saying the rain is dry now. I don't know why he's Australian, but he is now. The track's dry now. On the crossover section as Oscar picks up a penalty. Tribe does have a penalty. He's also got past Jay Prentice at some stage or another. but he does have a penalty, which I believe is 3 seconds. Yes, it is. Jay Prentice will snatch that back up. The rain has not stopped just yet. Prentice just pulling out onto the inside. Liam is now into 3rd position and getting right onto the back of his teammate Yolo. Yolo should let him by if he gets close enough. I'm sure Yolo will be extremely happy with a 3rd place finish. But Liam, well, I don't have words for this performance. This is absolutely fantastic from the Haas. The Haas here are looking to bring in an absolute bag full of points. Faber Trench just getting past Oscar, who's in the pits. I imagine may retire from the race. But the rain is stopping significantly here. And these two working together are actually closing on Hindle. DRS is now being enabled, so this is going to make things interesting, which must mean it's dry enough to put those slick tyres on. It'll be interesting to see what Hindle does here. Is it time to put the soft tyres on? Oscar has jumped the gun and gone early, so there's me saying he's going to retire. No, he's not. He's gone early for the soft tyres. We have 3-4 laps to go here. We have a virtual safety car, so it's perfect time to pit for to go on the soft tyres. Not entirely sure what that's for. We have the retirement of a Mercedes on the track. And it's called a virtual safety car, so you can imagine all these people playing it. Yolo just got nipped to the pit stop, so he's going to be held up. They're double stacking, and I think that's going to be another unlucky situation for Yolo. But he's going to have to pit. Where is Oscar going to come out? Nowhere near the field. He's also under a virtual safety car, which is unfortunate for him because he made the right call to go on to the soft tyres. The rain has stopped, so the softs are going on. The virtual safety car has ended, and every single person and their dogs are into the pit lane. Anyone stayed out? No, of course they haven't. That'd be an absolute stupid idea. We've got some double stackers coming in. As Hindle is still out the front of the Grand Prix here. And everyone is separated by an absolute mile. That probably was down to the double stacks here at Sochi. The rain, you can see, is still tipping down ever so slightly, but the track is perfectly dry enough. So IMAX is still out. So is Kazakh on the intermediates, which is almost impossible to drive on now. Yolo's come out in 5th position. Tribe is in 3rd, he has a penalty. I'm sure Prentice will take that and take a podium, which we will thoroughly enjoy. And yeah, no one is particularly close enough to make a move. DRS and to be enabled, but no one's going to be able to use it as we're about to come and start lap number 11. And Liam has gone from second last to second here again. This is what Netsky did last week. Will he be able to do one better than the driver who pipped him to the start line? Still closing in as Romsey makes a move down the outside of IMAX. IMAX is getting out of the way now as he's on the intermediate tyres and he's given up. Into the pit lane he goes, and he will put on the soft tyres now. So anyone close enough to make a move? We have Netsky within DRS range of Jay Wizzy. Netsky closing the gap, going purple. Ever so slightly. He will be picking up more points from the back of the grid again. Just looking up the inside of the pink Mercedes. Not there though. He will probably get him here though, quite comfortably. Jay Wish is open, bothering fighting it. Rayman's got another penalty. I don't know why it's gone that way. Netsky moves up into P7 and sets another purple sector, so I can imagine a faster lap coming here for him. Jay Prentice 1.3 seconds, Liam 1.2, not quite close enough for the DRS to be activated as you start the penultimate lap of the sprint race here round Russia. Jay Prentice staying where he needs to stay for the podium positions. He's in a penalty sandwich, and unfortunately for YOLO, he's picked up another penalty, which means Noah Jones will take 5th position from him if he can stay there and keep it clean. But Jay Prentice now will win within DRS. I'm sure he'll love to make the move on track. Liam is even on DRS with Hindle, so he will be trying to push and get that DRS hopefully for the final lap. So it could be another last lap shootout for Liam as he about to enter. Stay on board with this. Liam has DRS. We have a sector 3 yellow flag. There's something going slowly. I think it might be IMAX, and he's gone. He's disconnected. He's quit. Liam flying around the track. Who currently holds the fastest lap of the race? It's not on there. Down here. Netsky, 32.2. So absolutely flying round. What do you expect from him? As we're now about to start the final lap of the race, is Liam going to come from second last on the grid to take victory here? He's got DRS, he's got his ERS open, but so does Hindle. He's got plenty more to give. He just backs out. I don't think he's make a move here. He may wait for the back straight of turn number 11 into turn 12 and 13. But no, he doesn't. He takes a move round turn 3 and sweeps the position. But Liam has a penalty. I didn't even notice Liam has a penalty. And Liam does have a penalty. He must have put it up. Oh, I missed it. Too busy concentrating on the intervals rather than the penalties themselves. Hindle knows he can just let him go. So Hindle will probably pick up a win here quite comfortably. Try behind, which means Jay Prentice is going to jump on the back of that and come into third. Netsky has a penalty himself. He will not be making any moves on Noah. So I think 7th place is all he's got. So we'll stay on board with the front 2. And it stays as it is. Hindle half a second behind, closing, and still stays within half a second. Nothing to worry about for Hindle. Keeps it clean round turn 15, 16, 17, 18, and he has taken his first win. Jay Prentice makes a move down the inside of turn 13 just because he wants to position on track, and why not? I don't blame him. 1 lap to go, last few corners, and you might as well make it interesting for yourselves. YOLO's got past, Netsky's got past here, Noah Jones. Noah Jones doesn't need to take any risks, he does not have a penalty. But as we come here, Lindell takes the win. I'm sorry I missed that. Liam seemed to have got him there. He did, but Hindle takes it with the penalties. Jay Prentice takes 3rd position. We've heard from him earlier in the interviews, and he said he was interested to see where he could do from that position on the grid, and takes 3rd position. Noah Jones 4th. Netsky takes 5th position from the back of the grid. P19 to P5, fantastic from him. P6 for Tribe. YOLO takes 7th. He gets points. He'll be happy with that, as does the Ferrari of Bowers. He gets his first points of the season. Jay Wizzy picks up 9th after winning last week's sprint race. Roomsy takes 10th. Rainman was doing okay in the rain, but unfortunately it wasn't the man today to get any points. Oscar Samblum, 12th position, and the Williams coming out the back of the grid. It's almost like real life. And then where we had no DNFs for race number 1, the half-distance sprint race has claimed its fair share of casualties. We have IMAX, Vapor Trench, Cohen, Rob, Eklund, James Dovey all out and out the race. Well, that is it. As Cobalt crosses the line, that is it. That's your order. That is round 2 done here at CSGB Racing. It's been an absolute brilliant couple of races here at Russia. Hindle takes the win. Liam is your driver of the day, and absolutely well deserved. P18 to second position. First place on track. Flew through the crowd. Netsky got a bit stuck in trouble. Couldn't repeat his last week's heroics. But here you have it then. Hindle is your man on the podium. And an absolutely brilliant drive from a lot of the drivers at the front. A Brit on the podium. A Brit on pole on the top step. Something you don't become very accustomed to here at CSGB. It's normally the Scandinavians who take over. But here we go then, your final standings. The rain's coming down again, so we weren't too far away from some rain. Hindle, here's your man, P1. Liam takes P2. Fantastic drive from the stand-in Haas driver. Jay Prentice in third. He'll be happy with those points. Noah Jones gets a vital points for Ferrari team and puts him in fourth. Netsky picks up even more points and a fastest lap from 19th. He takes fifth. Tryby in sixth. Yolo takes seventh. Bowers joins his teammate in the points and takes eighth position. Jay Wizzy takes ninth. Roimsey is your 10th place position, and then out the points you've got Rayman, Oscar, Kazakhs and Vapor Cobalt, Max, Trench, Carwin, Eklund and James all unfortunately weren't able to make it to the end. And that is it for this weekend, this Monday evening's action. Join us tomorrow for the F2 division, exactly the same run out here. The lads have got a tough ask to follow after those two races. Fantastic racing from you guys, well done. Please join Oliver Bowers and James Dovey on commentary with F2 tomorrow at 7 o'clock here. And yes, I've been Mr. Bebo Worm or Arthur, whatever you want to call me. It's been a pleasure commentating again, and I'll catch you next week for round 3 of CSGB action. Thank you.